Anyone who has ever spent time with the elderly knows the frustrations that can arise. Kurt Kazanowski, an expert in hospice, home care, and working with the elderly, says when it's someone close to you, there are 5 things you should not say that can make it a bit easier. Kurt, why is the way we communicate so important?
Hello, Lori. Well, having personal experience with my mother and my father as they aged taught me a lot, and being a nurse taught me a lot, and actually led me to writing a book called A Son's Journey, Taking Care of Mom and Dad. And chapter number 2 is about the talk and all the issues we're about to touch on here. So that was my compelling reason to help other people help their folks.
You say the first phrase we should avoid is, how can you not remember that? What should we say instead, Kurt?
Is remember when we used to do this. Is to spin it around. It's like the kung fu of communication is take the power and translate it to another vehicle. Remember when we used to do these things. Remember all the joy we had when we used to go to the ball game. So put a positive spin on it. And so you get away from demeaning them or making the loved one feel that they are forgetting.
The second one we should avoid is, you could do that if you really tried. How should we rephrase that?
You could say, Dad, hey, let me help you out with that. I remember when we were a kid, how you used to help me go through these things. It's just the way to do it. And that puts it very positive. It brings back positive memories. It's a good way to connect with your dad, and it'll help him remember.
And here's another one. Don't say, I just showed you how to use the remote control yesterday. What's a better way to communicate?
Yes, hey, Dad, let me have the remote control and let me help you look at how we access program number 4 or channel number 3. And I mean, these all sound very simple, and they are. In the heat of the moment, Lori, as us adult kids don't remember that. So it's remember these small, simple things and to take and put the positive spin on them. So when they say, I showed you how to use a remote yesterday, so Dad, let me show you how to access it again. And take it and touch their hand, guide them, and help them through that is a positive way to do that. Other ways, they start shrinking into their shell again, which is not what we want.
And speaking of the remote control, don't some cable companies offer senior-friendly remotes?
Yes, they do, yes. And same thing with phone companies. If you still have a landline with the larger phones and the digits on them that make it easier to see and access, they do.
Another phrase you advise avoiding is, what does that have to do with what we're talking about? What's better?
Well, it is, our parents will start wandering. They'll take a thought and go here. So remember that's why that's happening. Bring them back saying, hey, that's really cool. I remember that time, Mom, but how about with this? Remember we're talking about looking at dinner tonight. We're going to XZY restaurant, and as opposed to Mary Judy when they went off to a restaurant in some other part of the world or something like that. They're reminiscing, and it's very easy to reflect and guide their hand softly and bring them back through just some simple, very, very basic communication techniques, which may not sound like a lot for you and I, but are very critical, very, very critical as we learn to communicate with folks that are starting to have memory loss, Lori.
And lastly, you advise against using the phrase, you told me that already. What should we say instead, Kurt?
He says, Dad, yeah, I remember when we talked about that before. Let's talk about it again. So there, you're taking it, because this is going to be a repeating pattern. So you need to find some genre for you that is going to communicate that you care, that you love, and you respect. So they're going to say that all the time. So you need to be able to have a pet response phrase back. Yeah, I remember when we talked about that before, Dan. Let's talk about that again. Or was there something else you wanted to add to that? But take that and spin it around in a positive way, so they can feel not humiliated, because they will feel that. Not feel your anger in the tone of your voice, which is very big. That's us as adult kids, especially in today's society where a nanosecond is a lifetime. We need to have patience, which is very hard. I think that's the conundrum in today's society with the kids growing up, taking care of mom and dad. The millennials and even the X generations, their time span, their patience span isn't really strong, and it needs to be. That's the art of love. That's the art of caring and the art of understanding.
Kurt Kazanowski, great information on how to communicate better with older friends and relatives.
Yep.
And the book is called A Son's Journey. For more information, go to Kurt's website, asonsjourney.com. Kurt, thanks so much for being here.
Take care. Have a great day. Thank you.